Question number 43. In the diagram below, KTN, let us locate it. KTN is a tangent of a cycle at T. You should know that a tangent is a line that touches a cycle at exactly one point. We're asked to find the measure of the angle NTA. Let us locate it. We have N, we have T, we have A here. Therefore, they are referring to this particular angle. Let me call it X. You should remember that that angle formed between a chord and a tangent line is always equal to that interior angle which is subtended by the same chord to the circumference. So this is the angle subtended by that same chord to the circumference, which is 65, and hence this angle must be 65. Very simple question from alternate segment theorem, and this is option C. Now let us move on to question number 44. Question number 44, it reads, an airplane flies from town P on a bearing of 45 degrees to another town Q, a distance of 200 kilometers away. It then changes its course and flies to another town R on a bearing of 120 degrees. If R is directly east of P, we're asked to calculate the distance between P down to R, correct to the nearest kilometer. Okay, let us make a rough sketch of this one. You should know that the plane started from what? Town P. So let's assume we have a town P right here. Let me call this P. It travels to another town Q on a bearing of what? 45 degrees. So let's assume it is somewhere here. This is town Q. Distance is 200 kilometers apart, right? And the angle here is 45 degrees. And from Q, the plane travels to another town R on a bearing of 120 degrees. And according to the question, town R is directly east of P. So where is east of P? This is east of P, this parallel line, heading to what? Town R. So let's connect this point to this point. So according to this question, this particular angle is 120 degrees. We're asked to find the distance from P down to R. All right. You should remember that angle on a straight line is 180. Already we have 120 here, which implies that we have 60 degrees here. And this particular angle right here is equal to this one because they are alternate angles. So this is 45. And if you join the two together, 60 and 45, you have 105 degrees. And because from north to east is 90 degrees, it implies that this particular angle must be 45 degrees because 45 is 90. Then we need this particular angle again. You should know that the sum of all the three angles in a triangle equal to 180. So to find this particular angle, you can take away this and this from 180. And if you do that, you are going to get 30 degrees. All right, we need to find this side length. Let me call it X. By using sine rule, we have X, that is the side we are looking for, divide by the sine of that angle opposite to it, which is 105. Then this must be equal to, since we have this side length, we can use it. We have 200 divided by sine of 30. And from here, we can cross multiply. We have X to be equal to 200 multiplied by sine of 105 divided by sine of 30 degrees. So let me use my calculator and press everything. X is equal to 386 because they say to the nearest kilometer. So we have 386 kilometers, which is option B. All right, question number 45 reads, if the angle of depression of a boy standing on the ground from the top of a house is 72 degrees, What is the angle of elevation of the top of the house from the boy? Okay, let us make a rough sketch of this. Though I know they must be the same. 72, 72. So it is option C, but let me show you why. Suppose we have a boy here standing, and we have a vertical wall here or a house from the same ground. So from the top to his eyes is something like this. And in both cases, we have line of sight. We have line of sight here. So the moment you hear this word from is very important. That is where you're going to calculate the angle. So the angle of depression from the top, this is the top. Angle of depression, meaning you should look down. This is the angle we are talking about, is 72. Then if you're talking about angle of elevation, this is angle of elevation. If you look at this, this is what? Transversal line, and we have two parallel lines. Therefore, this angle must be 72 because they are alternate angles. Let us move on to question number 46. Question number 46 reads, if cosine theta is equal to 0.8, where theta is between 0 to 90 degrees, we asked to find tangent of theta. Okay, let me show you how you can work it out. Cosine theta is equal to 0.8, but 0.8 is the same thing as 8 divided by 10. And we can still write it to the lowest term because 2 can divide 8 4 times and it can divide 10 5 times. So let us draw a right angle triangle. Suppose we have a right angle triangle here, and this is our angle of reference. Cosine is what? Adjacent divided by the hypotenuse, and this is the adjacent side, and this is the hypotenuse. So what will be the measure of the adjacent side? It will be the square root of hypotenuse squared, that is 25, minus the adjacent squared, that is 16, because 14 times 14 is 16. And 25 minus 16 is 9, square root of 9 is 3, which means that the adjacent side is 3. So we are looking for tangent of theta. Tangent of theta is what? Opposite divided by the adjacent. The opposite is 3, the adjacent is 4. So the solution to this problem is 3 over 4. 3 over 4 is option B. Let us move on to question number 47. Question number 47 reads, a ladder x meter long leans against a vertical pole of 12 meter, making an angle of 54 degrees with the horizontal ground. We're asked to calculate the value of x correct to 3 significant figures. There's an error in this question, but let me show you why. Suppose we have a vertical wall here, and this vertical wall is 12 meter. Then we have a ladder which leans against the vertical wall, something like this. Suppose this is our ladder. You know it is going to be on the same ground level. This angle formed between the horizontal ground is what? 54 degrees. So this is 54 degrees. And we are told that the length of this ladder is x. And we're asked to find the length of the ladder, right? So traditionally, we don't expect this ladder to lean against this vertical pole at the top, but somewhere within the middle, right? But well, let us just find the value of x. You can see that this is hypotenuse, this is opposite. Sine of that angle, which is 54, is equal to what? Opposite divided by the hypotenuse. And if you make x the subject, it will be x equal to 12 divided by sine of 54. So now let us plug this into a calculator, and this is 14.8. 14.8. What is the unit? Meter. And which option is that? Option B. And there should be meter here, please. Question number 48 reads, if 1.109 liters of water is poured into a cylindrical container of base radius 4.2 cm. Find the level of the water correct to two significant figures. All right. Suppose we have a cylinder right here. And let's assume the water which is poured here is within this level. So we are looking for the height of that water level. Then the radius is given as 4.2, and the volume is what? 1.109. 1.109. This is the volume of the water. But remember, the formula of the volume is equal to what? Pi r squared h. But since we are looking for h, we make it the subject by dividing both sides by pi r squared. So h is equal to v divided by pi r squared. So now let us substitute everything. We have h equal to the volume is given as 1.109 divided by pi. You know, pi is approximately 3.1415 and so on. But in Nigeria, commonly we use 22 divided by 7. Please use 22 divided by 7 if you are in Nigeria. But if you are outside Nigeria, you can use 3.141. So I will use 22 divided by 7 for pi. Then multiply by the radius squared, which is 4.2 squared. So let me use my calculator and simplify the bottom first. This is equal to 4.2 squared times 22 divided by 7 is 55.44. So we have 1.109 divided by 55.44. Then we divide. This is equal to 0.020036. But they said in what? Two significant figures. And to round this to two significant figures, we have 0.02. So this is our final answer, 0.02 cm, which is option A. Now let us move on to question number 49.